Jai.
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
jai. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So today, for this wonderful and auspicious day of Vyasa Puja of Jananda Maharaj, we will try to connect with him and all our acharyas and Sri Krishna by reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 8, verse 18 and 19. That's what you put here because there is no purpose. Wonderful. Krishna yadi chute bhakti bhukti mukti diya kabu prema bhakti na dena rakena lukaya. Sorry. It's like I'm reading alone. I'm really sorry for that. But anyway, it's the first verse, so we will read together after. Translation. If a devotee wants liberation or material sense gratification from the Lord, Krishna immediately delivers it. But pure devotional service he keeps hidden. Again, if a devotee wants liberation or material sense gratification from the Lord, Krishna immediately delivers it, but pure devotional service he keeps hidden. Now verse 19. Rajan patir gurur alam bhavatam yadunam.
Rajan patir guru alam bhavatam yadunam.
Daivam priya kulapati gvacha kinkarova.
Devam priya kulapati kvacham kinkarova.
As evam anga bhagavan bhajata mukundo.
Astavam amanga bhagavan bhajatam mukundo.
Muktim dadati kahichit smana bhakti yogam.
Muktim dadati kahichit smana bhakti yogam.
Rajan patir gururalam bhavatam yadunam.
Rajan patir gururalam bhavatam yadunam.
Daivam priyakula pati gvacha kinkarova.
Devam priya kulapati kvacham kinkarova.
Astveva evam anga bhagavan bhajatam mukundo.
Astevamanga bhagavan bhajatam mukundo.
Muktim dadati karichit smana bhakti yogam.
Muktim dadati karichit sana bhakti yogam.
Rajan patir guru lalam bhavatam yadunam.
Rajan patir guru ralam bhavatam yadunam.
Daivam priyakula pati gvacha kinkarova.
Devam priya kulapati kvacham kinkarova.
Asvevam anga bhagavan bhajatam mukundo.
Asvena manga bhajaman bhajatam mukundo.
Muktim dadati karichit smana bhakti yogam.
Muktim dadati karichis bhakti yogam.
Agampati Guru Haram Bhavatam Yadunam.
Rajan patir guru alam bhavatam yadunam.
Devam Priya Kulapati Vacha Kinkarova.
Devam priya kulapati vacha kinkarova.
Asvena Manga Bhagavan Bhajatam Mukundo.
Asvena manga bhagavan bhajatam mukundo.
Muktim Dadati Karichit Mana Bhakti Yoga.
Muktim dadati karichit smana bhakti yogam. Rajan patir guru alam bhavatam yadunam.
Rajan patir guru lalam bhavatam yadunam.
Devam priya kulapati kvacham kinkarova.
Daivam priya kulapati gvacha kinkarova.
Asvena manga bhagavan bhajatam mukundo.
Asdeva manga bhagavan bhajatam mukundo.
Muktim dadati karichit smana bhakti yogam.
Muktim dadati karichit smana bhakti yogam.
Rajapatir Guru Alam Bhavatam Yadunam.
Rajan patir guru alam bhavatam yadunam.
Daivam Priya Kulapati Vachakin Karova.
Devam priya kulapati kvachakin karova.
Asvaiva Enamanga Bhagavan Bhajatam Mukundo.
Astvena manga bhagavan bhajatam mukundo.
Tim Dadati Karichit Smana Bhakti Yogam.
Muktim dadati karichit smana bhakti yogam.
Rajan,
Rajan,
O king,
okay,
Pati,
Ati
master,
master,
guru,
guru,
spiritual master,
spiritual master,
alam,
alam,
certainly,
certainly,
bhavatam,
bhavatam,
of your,
of your,
yadunam,
yadunam,
of the yadus,
of the yadus,
daivam,
deva,
God,
God,
priya,
priya,
very dear,
very dear,
kulapati,
kulapati,
head of the family,
head of the family,
va,
Kwa,
even sometimes,
even sometimes,
cha,
cha,
also,
also,
kinkaraha,
kinkara,
order carrier,
order carrier,
vaha,
vaha,
you,
you,
astu,
asu,
there is,
there is,
evam,
evam,
thus,
thus,
anga,
anga,
however,
however,
Bhagavan,
Bhagavan,
the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
Supreme Personality of Godhead,
Bhajatam,
Vajatam,
those who are in devotional service,
those who are in devotional service,
Mukundaha,
Mukunda,
Lord Krishna,
Lord Krishna,
Muktim,
Muktim,
liberation,
Liberation,
Dadati,
Rati,
gives,
gives,
Karichit, sometimes,
sometimes,
Ma,
Sma,
certainly,
certainly,
Na,
no,
not,
not,
Bhakti Yogam,
Bhakti Yoga,
devotional service.
devotional service.
Shri Nitai Sachituta Jagannath Bharate Supadara Mani Rata Parishvara Ki
Jai,
Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
Translation. So it's a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam. The great sage Narada said, "My dear Maharaj Yudhishthira, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is always ready to help you. He is your master, guru, God, very dear friend, and head of your family. Yet sometimes he agrees to act as your servant or order carrier. You are greatly fortunate because this relationship is possible only by Bhakti Yoga. the Lord can give liberation, mukti, very easily, but he does not very easily give one bhakti yoga, because by that process he is bound to the devotee. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Ki Jai. This passage is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 5.6.18. While Shukadeva Goswami was describing the character of Rishabhadev, he distinguished between Bhakti Yoga and liberation by reciting this verse. In relationship with the Yadus and the Pandavas, the Lord acted sometimes as their master, sometimes as their advisor, sometimes as their friend, sometimes as the head of their family, and sometimes even as their servant. Krishna once had to carry out an order of Yudhishthira's by carrying a letter Yudhishthira had written to Duryodhana regarding peace negotiations. Similarly, he also became the chariot driver of Arjuna. This illustrates that in Bhakti Yoga, there is a relationship established between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the devotee. Such a relationship is established in the transcendental mellows known as Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. If a devotee wants simple liberation, he gets it very easily from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed by Bilva Mangala Thakur. Mukti svayam mukulitanjali sevate sman. For a devotee, mukti is not very important, because mukti is always standing on his doorstep, waiting to serve him in some way. A devotee, therefore, must be attracted by the behavior of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, who live in the relationship with Krishna, in a relationship with Krishna. His servants, the land, water, cows, trees, and flowers serve Krishna in Shantarasa. His servants serve him in Dasyarasa, and his cohort friends serve him in Sakyaras. Similarly, the elder gopis and gopas serve Krishna as father and mother, uncle and other relatives, and the young gopis, the cohort girls, serve Krishna in conjugal love. While executing devotional service, one must be naturally inclined to serve Krishna in one of these transcendental relationships. That is the actual success of life. For a devotee to get liberation is not very difficult. Even one who is unable to establish a relationship with Krishna can achieve liberation by merging into the Brahman effulgence. This is called Sayujya Mukti. Vaishnavas never accept Sayujya Mukti, although sometimes they accept the other forms of liberation, namely Sarupya, Salokya, Samipya, and Sarishti. A pure devotee, however, does not accept any kind of mukti. He wants only to serve Krishna in a transcendental relationship. This is the perfectional stage of spiritual life. Mayavadi philosophers desire to merge into the existence of the Brahman effulgence, although this aspect of liberation is always neglected by devotees. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, describing this kind of mukti, which is called Kaivalya, or becoming one with the Supreme, has said, Kaivalyam narakayate. Becoming one with the Supreme is as good as going to hell. Therefore, the ideal of Mayavada philosophy, becoming one with the Supreme, is hellish for a devotee. He never accepts it. Mayavadi philosophers do not know that even if they merge into the effulgence of the Supreme, this will not give them ultimate rest. An individual soul cannot live in the Brahman effulgence in a state of inactivity. After some time, he must desire to be active. However, since he is not aware of his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore has no spiritual activity, he must come down for further activities in this material world. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.32. Aruhya Krishtrena Parampadam Tata Patanti Ado Nadrita Yushmad Angraya. Because Mayavadi philosophers have no information regarding the transcendental service of the Lord, even after attaining liberation from material activities and merging into the Brahman effulgence, they must come down again to this material world to open hospitals or schools or perform similar philanthropic activities. End of the purport. Jai. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Omajnanatimidandasya Chanandana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamaram Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Anam Eva Kevalam Kalo Nastyeva Gatiranyatha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 J'ajoute la pause, ça va si on fait en anglais?
Très bien.
C'est plus fluide en français.
Ça va très bien.
Ça va?
Bien. Allez, Mama Jivanam. J'ai lu il n'y a pas longtemps celui-là. Allez, Mama Jivanam. Nastiva. Allez, Mama Jivanam. J'ai lu il y a pas longtemps. Ça annonce mon avis et mon âme.
Tout
Oui,
est
en
dit.
anglais, bah oui, en anglais.
Let's go for English. For now. Soon you will learn French, right? So, today very deep verses connected with liberation, and as devotees, our goal, our aim is not liberation in itself, it's the real liberation. We could call it Bhakti Mukti, right? And this Bhakti Mukti is already from beginning of the process. To reach Bhakti Mukti, we need to practice Bhakti. And it's that's why we often say that the process of Krishna consciousness is also the goal, to be Krishna conscious. And to be Krishna conscious, you need to practice Krishna consciousness. And it's, of course, different, it has a deeper meaning, an ultimate, an ultimate rest. The ultimate rest is not being inactive, as Prabhupada mentioned in this purport, but it's to be permanently connected with the Lord, because real liberation cannot happen if we didn't establish our sambandha with the Lord, and if we are not, acting through this sambandha, serving the Lord. What is waiting for us is we get attached to any form of liberation, especially impersonal liberation, is to just have to come back here if we didn't realize this relationship with the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada is warning us, especially with this Sayujya Mukti, which is impersonal liberation, whereas the four other types of liberation are personal form of liberation. This Sayujya Mukti will enable us to taste what we call Brahmananda, which is a form of happiness experienced in the Brahman effulgence of the Lord. But despite the fact that it's such already compared to material happiness, is already a kind of blissful happiness that we experience. But the thing is that at some point, because we have this eternal relationship with the Lord, which is, we need to be awakened. If we don't have this connection with the Lord, we will just fall down back in the material world. Why? Because it's like this metaphor. If you send, a skyrocket, right, out of space, if there is no destination, what will do the skyrocket? Or let's not think about the skyrocket, but just if you throw a ball in the air, like at some point, if there is no one to pick it up upstairs, it will just fall down. So in the same way, if we don't want to fall down, we better know where we go and who is going to catch us there. And this is the process that we are following. This is the ultimate mukti that we are looking for, the devotional service. And this verse is particularly deep because, the great sage Narada Muni is teaching us, and every instruction of Narada Muni is so dear, so important, valuable. And here is instructing Maharaj Yudhishthira that Krishna is always ready to help you, to help us. And it's true. How Krishna is himself or through the spiritual master. Interestingly enough, today it's Vyasa Puja Day, and the verse mentioned about spiritual master, guru, God, and how the Lord also externally manifests through the spiritual master to teach us, to help us, and to show example. And we know how Jananda Maharaj is really trying to connect every living being, not only human beings, but every living being of this earth to become Krishna conscious. And definitely, he's helping everyone either by, teaching, by sharing the holy name in the street, by personally distributing books, by, sharing about, his experience in many matters, either with cooking, with arranging the rooms, with preparing a marathon, with managing the accountings. You realize that you may have some material capacities, due to your experience, your job, your trainings you got. But when you are in the context of bhakti, all of this seems to be like you're a beginner. You don't know anything, actually. It's just a complete different mindset, and the skills, you realize they are not enough. You have to get the proper mood to do it. And And it is particularly manifested in our spiritual master, not only the external seva, but to get the mood to be really serving the Lord and the devotees for that. And this is the help of the spiritual master to get the proper mood. Then, what is very fortunate for us is to get this connection with the process of Bhakti Yoga. There are different forms of, let's say, religion, and we can understand the depth of a religion also with how we can connect with the Lord, and how precise are the descriptions also of the relationship with the Lord that we can experiment. And we can understand from our teachings that there are many details about the different relationships that we can experiment with the Lord. We know that the Lord will reciprocate with our natural, original feeling for Him. This is for sure. And the Lord is helping us in our daily practice to, we may not notice it, and I don't personally, but not enough, but we can understand that Krishna is bringing us on in a way that will awaken this dormant relationship. And the instruction of the spiritual master guide us on that, our real guide, the pathway to reach this relationship. Before that, we need to establish this sambandha, jnana, which also the spiritual master tried to reestablish by teaching, by repeating often about our relationship of being the servant of the servants and applying these teachings in our practice. To know theoretically is one thing, to apply is a different thing. And to apply means to follow the instructions that was given by our spiritual master, by our acharyas. And so to come back to the religion topic, in the Bhakti Yoga, and it's very hard to understand for other religion or practitioners, let's say, from other traditions, how the Lord can serve His devotee. To understand that God is so wonderful, to be reverential with the Lord, to serve Him, that is quite okay in general. But the Lord will come to serve His devotees. This is too far out. It's not possible, it's not conceivable for them, It's like, how come the Lord can serve His devotees? It's not His position, He should not do that. But this is actually the why we call Krishna the Supreme Personality, because He's supreme in every field, and not only of being the most beautiful, the most learned, and so on. He's also supreme because He's supremely affectionate for His devotees. And how beautiful is it? It is that the Lord Himself personally cares for us. And how beautiful it is when Jananand Maharaj is personally taking care of us, giving a ring, being personally present. You know how it's relishable. Oh, He's caring for us. And when we are down, and we remember all these moments when He was personally present, when He is personally present, like it's so wonderful and give so much faith in the process, so much faith that Krishna is also like this, and how beautiful it is and how logical it is also, because you see, of course, how the Lord could be so supreme. How could it be supreme if there was not this deep affection, this desire to serve His devotees? Because it's all about love, and love is about reciprocation. If the Lord would not be able to reciprocate with His devotees in that way, it would mean He's not absolute. Absolute means He also can take this position. Otherwise, we cannot call absolute truth. And so that's wonderful, and it's a permanent exchange, because love is all about this. It's in this context, not in our material context of love is equal to lust, and we just want to exploit the other person in one way or another, be it gross or subtle, like loving relationship in a material context is more or less about material lust, be it very subtle. But in the transcendental platform, this love is expanding, and we can see in the scriptures, especially in Bhagavatam, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, how the Lord is, always bringing in, some reciprocation, and how the devotee want to reciprocate even more. There are many stories, emphasizing this eternal reciprocation, and we know that in the Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami explained how to enrich this loving relationship, loving exchanges, by giving, receiving gifts, by giving, honoring prasadam, and by opening your heart and listening someone opening his heart. This is the way to develop relationship, and it's a way to deepen the love we have for someone. So yeah, this is what we look for. Service, devotional service, is actually a manifestation of love. If you love someone, you serve the person. A mother, because she loves the child, serve the child. A lover serve the partner because there is this feeling of love. And for Krishna, the difficult part is Krishna is not tangible at the beginning, and we feel like, but how can I love this person whom I don't really know? Okay, I understand it will bring me this and that. Okay, Bhakti Mukti looks nice. I understand theoretically, but I don't really know. That's why we need to get to more knowledge about this person by studying the scriptures, by practicing, by sharing, being guided by spiritual master, by senior devotees, because we cannot invent all of this. We cannot create it. Bhakti comes only from bhakti. So this bhakti, the good news is that it's already present. It's present in the heart of other devotees. Every one of us has a piece of this puzzle, and the spiritual master especially, he has the key of this door that will help us to come closer to this supreme personality, and realize that he is around us everywhere, in the heart of others, but also in this material creation. Sometimes we tend to look at the material creation like, wow, this place of hell and so on, but we tend to forget that it's also the energy of the Lord, and it's important to have this perspective, not to reject, because ultimately everything is emanating from the Lord. And Bhagavad Gita in that sense is very crucial for us to always remember how everything is connected with Krishna. And this progressively, if we develop this understanding that everything around us is connected with the Lord, and we see the connection, doesn't mean that we should, stay in this material world, for sure, but by understanding that it's connected with Krishna, it's a constant meditation, and we start to be absorbed in the Lord pastimes, and we start to be understanding our position, to realize it, not only understanding, but to realize. And if it's regularly present in our life, we have this enthusiasm, this faith that is growing. And we have to also, by the help of the Vaishnavas, by Sadhu Sangha, try to protect ourselves from this misconception of, let's get mukti. I want to be happy. I don't want this suffering, this material world. Okay, but let's go to the good direction in that. Because first of all, it's not our goal. And we know that exalted devotees are not looking for this happiness or good conditions of life to practice Bhakti Yoga. They just don't care for it. They consider that wherever Krishna you put me, since I can practice, since I can remember you, everything is perfect. If I can engage in your devotional service, that's all right. Be it in hell, in Edenic planet, in the intermediate planet, in this planet or that planet, spiritual, wherever. Most important, I can continue. And maybe more tangible for us than personalities mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is Shivala Maharaj, who once explained to his disciples, like he had some understanding that he, for himself, the point is to come back to this material world to get his disciples back, right? So that's why he wants to come back to this material world to serve. That's his service for Krishna, and he expressed it. You see how wonderful it is? Like he's ready to, he takes this risk, right? Because it's not always safe to be in this material world. And of course, this is a great Vaishnava. I cannot compare with such Vaishnavas, but still, they take this uncomfort for us to bring this knowledge, to bring this Bhakti Yoga process to everyone, and to bring back, to awaken us, and to realize our real nature, and to awaken this dormant love for Krishna. And they don't bother much about the conditions. What's important is that they go and they do it. Srila Prabhupada, what to say, of course, also shows us how he has faith in this process and was ready to give every breath for us. Every breath. And I remember Keshava Maharaj in New Mayapur was sharing that I think it was Shuta Kirti Prabhu who once was in the limousine with Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada was being very exhausted of different travels, different programs that he held. And Srila Prabhupada was, just falling down, sleep, But he realized that every breath Srila Prabhupada, he was, contemplating Srila Prabhupada sleeping, and he was contemplating how Srila Prabhupada was breathing, being Krishna conscious. He felt like there was Krishna conscious in his breathing. And he thought, wow, Srila Prabhupada is just amazingly sharing with us this Krishna consciousness, and every breath is for sharing Krishna consciousness. And you all probably remember the last word of Srila Prabhupada, being fully conscious despite the bodily health, sharing the importance, sharing instructions till the last breath. So, let's be cautious not to focus on this, on the fact of being liberated. This will come, but this is a derived product. This is not our goal. Our goal is Bhakti Yoga. And liberation will come. And it's already present if you look at it. Don't you feel how there is relief? It's usually not the best to be in that mood to compare with others, but being compassionate, you can look at your relatives, your friends, your colleagues who are not having this opportunity yet, who don't grasp maybe the essence or don't feel yet inspired, because we are not enough inspiring for now. But they don't have it, and it seems more difficult. And when hard times happen, the material life, we have this knowledge explaining, okay, this is, karmic reaction, we understand it. Then we understand that ultimately the Lord also sent it for us to purify and to understand lessons, to be, better understanding the servitorship mood that we should develop. And we understand also that, okay, this is a pran, and so what? no problem. I will then listen to Krishna Katha, chant my holy, my rounds, and everything will be fine. Because this ultimately is temporary. Everything is okay. And so you don't meditate, you don't deep too much in that. You don't stay, you don't, make a standby on this. You go further, it's okay, everything is alright, Krishna is there. And the next day, he sends you an instruction from the scriptures that helps you to understand why it happens, and, the life goes on. And so this is already a kind of liberation that we experience. Liberation means to be able to, it's to get out of material sufferings. It's also, liberation means to be above the influences of the gunas. We may sometimes think that we are above the gunas, but then Krishna is just punching your head and showing, you're not ready yet. You are on the path, but, be humble about it. And because since we think, oh, I am above the gunas, it means we feel superior, kind of. And Krishna humble us again, that we don't develop these anarthas or try to get rid of it. So, this is what I was inspired to share when reading about this wonderful and important verse and purport. And if you have anything to share, please feel free. Any question, any correction are all welcome, for the pleasure of the devotees and the deities.
No, just the point that it's very interesting that Krishna doesn't give bhakti yoga, because if he gives it to his devotee, he becomes bound to his devotee.
Yes.
So it's amazing to think about it. And that's why bhakti is so rare, because then Krishna becomes indebted towards his devotees. So I just thought it was a beautiful point.
Yeah.
We don't usually think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Prabhupada didn't speak also much about it. Sometimes he says, I was listening to a lecture the other day and I thought it was very beautiful. He's saying, the Mayavadis, they want to become one with God. Devotees, we want to be more than God. And what he means by that is the coward boys, when they fight with Krishna, they want to win. They want to defeat Krishna. So this is only possible by Bhakti Yoga. Krishna becomes indebted to his devotees. So I thought it's amazing.
Yes.
Prabhupada Goswami described about this point in Ekal devotion.
Yes.
That Krishna is controlled by Radharani. So if you get mercy of Radharani, control Krishna. But, this is why you don't eat, because otherwise he's controlled by you. First you want to see, are you have a good intention? Are you really in bhakti, want to serve me? Or do you want to enjoy your position of controlling me? Okay, you want to for my pleasure, for the pleasure of devotee, okay, you get bhakti, you control me, you give me to other. Actually, in this matter, we see the Acharya, to control Krishna means giving to other.
Yes.
You control him by giving him to other. This is actually this Radharani energy. This is with love.
Yeah, and this is the instruction we should follow, definitely, to share this knowledge. This is how we can be really
This is the
realizing.
only way to overcome lust.
Yeah.
Because this is the only way, because this is love. This is what Rupa Goswami described. You have lust and love, totally different. And the way to overcome lust is to have love. When you have love, lust don't have any test. That's why this preaching is so much
Preaching is the essence.
Essence.
And as you were mentioning Radharani, yesterday I had the class of Chananda Maharaj, and he was saying that Krishna himself, he bows down. Why? Because he wants to get the dust from the lotus feet of Radharani. And yeah, Krishna himself bows down. I never thought about it. You know, he wants to bow down for this reason, to get the dust of
In the
his
Man
devotees.
Lila? In the Man Lila?
Manila,
Yeah, I think so. In that.
The whole Chaitanya pastime is Krishna bowing down to Radharani.
That's true.
Yeah, the whole purpose of Lord Chaitanya coming
Mm.
is
To
to worship Radharani, to experience her. Yeah.
Just remember me this pastime when Krishna is sick, nothing can cure him, only the dust from the
Gopis.
of the gopis could cure him.
Yeah.
So let's take today this opportunity to take the dust of the devotees, to please Lord Krishna, Jananda Maharaj, by, glorifying him, but most importantly by preaching, by going Harinam Sankirtan, trying to distribute few books, either in the street, either here, wherever. It's always possible. If we think that, oh no, I cannot distribute books here, it means we are not practicing bhakti properly, because bhakti doesn't prevent us from, the devotional service. We can still do it. Of course, we need to be practical, pragmatic, but if you really have the desire, Krishna will send us, because Krishna is always ready to help us. And he's also ready to help if we want to, even more ready if we want to share this knowledge. Because definitely this is the pastimes of Krishna to bring us back, and the sooner the better. So let's take this opportunity today, and thank you all of us for being present, opening your heart in the class, and giving me this opportunity to purify my consciousness by reading and having association. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki
Jai.
Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki
Jai.
Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Janananda Goswami Maharaj ki
Jai.